with me, Alex Armstrong. Now, in just 51 hours' time, Britain will have become, officially, a two-tier justice state. A taxpayer-funded, unelected, unaccountable, anti-democratic quango, the Sentencing Council has handed down a set of guidelines that are, in my blunt opinion, plainly discriminatory. Shadow Justice Secretary Robert Jenrick has said that Shabana Mahmood, the Justice Secretary, will preside, in his words, will preside over a two-tier justice system that is biased against white people and Christians.
The Secretary has been totally asleep at the wheel. She didn't even know about these sentencing guidelines until I raised them with her in the House of Commons. She then held a meeting and a week later wrote a letter to the Sentencing Council. They've come back now and totally rebuffed her. She's been humiliated. She hasn't brought forward emergency legislation. She rebuffed my bill that would have fixed this. The best time to have done emergency legislation would have been when these two-tier guidelines were first approved. The second best time is to do it now.
Yeah, the Justice Secretary previously promised the people of this country that there would never be two-tier justice under this Labour government.
As somebody who's of an ethnic minority background myself, I do not stand for any differential treatment before the law for anyone of any kind, and there will never be a two-tier sentencing approach under my watch or under this Labour government.
Yeah, well, that aged like milk, didn't it? And after being made aware of the two-tier guidance, Shabana Mahmood wrote a scathing letter to the Sentencing Council and demanded they renege on these new guidelines. And like many of you at home surely would have thought, good, that's that. The highest authority on law and order in our land, the democratically elected representative of the people, has told the council to cease and desist. How wrong was I? In what I can only describe as the most astounding display of arrogance, the Sentencing Council turned the Secretary of State, turned around to her and gave her a big metaphorical middle finger. Now, what you'd expect to follow this blatant attack on our democracy would be the sacking and shutting down of the entire council. But rather than act as she said she would, the Secretary of State for Justice has done nothing. Absolutely nothing. This is despite stating in her letter to the Sentencing Council that she believes these guidelines represent differential treatment under which someone's outcomes may be influenced by their race, culture, or religion. She says this is unacceptable, and I formally set up my objections to this letter to the Sentencing Council last week. I am extremely disappointed by the Council's response.